Welcome back to another Get Heavy interview, and I'm super excited for tonight, folks, because I finally get to sit down with none other than Northeast Thrashers Kilonova. This is going to be epic. Been waiting for this for a very long time. So without further ado, I'm going to stop waffling. We're going to bring these guys straight on, and without further ado, please welcome Ellen and Joe from Kilonova. Everyone, say hello. You are live, guys. Oh no, we can't hear you guys. Your microphone's muted. Must be on your side. There we're gone.
We're good. All right.
You can hear us now. Brilliant. How you doing, guys?
Very good.
Well, good, yeah.
Champion. Pleased to hear it. So before we start talking about that epic EP of yours, by the way, a moment of clarity, we always like to get a bit of backstory on the bands, just for anyone who doesn't know who Kilonova are. So, where is the band from? Because of, I believe, 2 years are Southerners, as I've just discovered.
Yeah, the two you've got with you today, unfortunately, are Southerners. We can only apologise, but we're all based in the northeast of England, all around like Newcastle and that.
No, it's excellent. And how long have you been a band for?
Since me and Johnny started playing together in 2017, the lineup formed in 2018.
Right, sweet. And if I remember correctly, you pretty much went into touring straight away because you just went into Metal to the Mass as well, and you got through pretty quick, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a pretty bad experience. I think we played not even one show. So we played one show prior to doing the Metal to the Masses competition, but it was in between two acoustic acts at Trillions.
Yeah, it was like an all-dayer in Trillions in Newcastle. It's like our home venue. And we were on at like 5:30 in the afternoon, I think, in between two acoustic acts.
Yeah.
Just this like 25 minutes of speed metal in between. It was ridiculous.
And then back to like clarinet.
So one gig and you went straight into Metal to the Masses. That's mad. Was it all original music as well? I would imagine it was, because did you, like, before your first gig, I'd imagine you had...
We had a Creeping Death cover. We had a Creeping Death cover, but we didn't play that in Metal to the Masses.
I was going to say, we only played that at the first show, didn't we?
Yeah.
Sweet. So
we didn't really have any expectations for Metal to the Masses either. We just went in thinking, like, at least this way it gives us a deadline to have a set ready by, so that we can't just like hide away forever.
I believe the Bloodstock Metal to the Masses, they're big Thrash fans, so I would have thought you guys would have went down an absolute storm for them. So what made you want to pursue music, out of curiosity?
Well, I couldn't do anything else, to be honest.
I bet that's a lie, Ellen.
I'm quite severely dyslexic, and so for me at school, I'd always done music, and it was kind of what I'd really excelled in. There you go.
Sweet. What about yourself, Joe?
I just sort of got introduced to it through like a couple of mates at school. Yeah, we were the sort of classic little goths in the corner or whatever. And so one of my friends at school was a drummer, and one of my friends at school was a guitar player, and so I ended up picking up a bass because that was like the gap in the skill sets. But yeah, musically I got introduced to all sorts of stuff from my dad and a load of my old prog rock and that kind of thing from the 70s.
Nice. So what was, for both of you, what was your first instruments that you picked up? What was the first thing you started learning?
Mine was, it was like the cheapest left-handed bass guitar I could find on eBay. It was an absolute piece of shit. It couldn't hold a tune. The intonation was horrendous. The pickups weren't actually lined up with the strings, so like the two higher strings were way quieter than the lower ones. It was borderline unplayable.
What?
Westfield or something.
I was just about to ask what make was it?
No-name brand.
Nice. What about yourself, Ellen?
Absolutely dire.
You always just started with the singing, or did you play an instrument first?
So I've always been a singer, but my first instrument that I picked up was actually the violin.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. I started in year 3 because in school, for some reason, they didn't give us recorders, so they gave us violin.
Like, that's a normal thing, I think.
Nice. So, do you think we could incorporate some violin into Kilonova down the line now?
No.
No.
I could have folk metal. I'd be into it.
I played it for a good, I played it up until year 9, so like a good few years. But yeah, no.
It could make for a good intro to like an EP or to like when you start a show. Who knows? Why not?
Don't give me that pressure.
So what made you want
to? Nervous enough doing the intro tape.
Yeah.
So what made you want to pursue singing then, Ellen?
Well, I mean, originally I was classically trained, so I perform more like opera side of things. And then I started listening to, I think I must have been about 13. I started listening to In This Moment, Motionless and White, and I was like, I want to do that. That sounds angry. And so, yeah, I started doing that. I did mess up my voice though. Like I started doing inhale screams. And I lost my voice after about 2 years of that, and I couldn't sing for about a year, so I had to relearn, and that was really painful.
Ow. Do you have to like take like singing classes or anything, or is it just a case of self-taught?
In terms of vocals altogether?
Yeah, well, that and for having to relearn. So yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so I had vocal lessons from, I think, like year 5. So I would have been what, like 11?
Yeah, something like that.
I had vocal lessons from year 5 up until, gosh, 20 maybe. I've always kind of been in and out of them, but when I lost my voice, I stopped for a bit, obviously, and then I got back into it because the school that I went to, you got free, like 1 free vocal or 1 free instrument if you did a music GCSE, and I did the music GCSE, so I got back into it. I mean, I had a very limited range when I restarted again, and my vocal teacher told me, do not try to learn to re-scream, and I ignored him. So here we are.
Yes, exactly. Like here you are now, and what a fantastic job you're doing, because you've got an absolute amazing voice, and you can hear it on Moment of Clarity. So what kind of gear do you guys rock, out of curiosity? What kind of bass do you slap there, Joe?
I've got 2 that I kind of consider my primary basses, and then 1 that I sometimes bring out but Johnny hates. So like my main 2 are like a Warwick Rock bass Corvette in dark blue, which is more like a kind of like a modern take on a jazz bass, and then I've got a 1982 Westone Thunder, so like a older than me bass guitar from the 80s, made in the Matsumoto factory in Japan, and that's like my pride and joy, because my dad has played bass since the 70s or so, and played a Westone Thunder the whole time. Still has the one that he had in the 80s. So when he found a left-handed version of it on eBay, he like surprised me with it.
Oh, nice.
And it's an absolute beast of a bass guitar as well. I absolutely love that thing. It's got this like super hot preamp in it, but it's got this like really old school precision bass tone. And then yeah, I've also got a Tokai Thunderbird, so like a Gibson Thunderbird or whatever, like what Nicky Six plays.
I'm with you.
But it's in the most like hideous slime green.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's that proper like municipal waste green. Johnny absolutely hates it. So every so often I just have to bring it out to piss him off.
Oh, that's right. Well, we are missing. I forgot we are missing 2 other members, Johnny and Steve. Is that right?
Yeah.
What are the?
They've got work commitments, unfortunately.
Oh, bless them. Is Johnny guitar player? Is he, or is Johnny drums?
Johnny's a guitar player.
Yes. I've seen him. He's rocking an absolute lovely guitar. Like when I've seen you guys play Trillions a while back, absolutely beautiful. I couldn't even tell you the name of it. I wasn't sure it was an ESP Gibson type style. Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah, he's got two Les Pauls, one red, one blue. I can't remember which is the Epiphone and which is the ESP, but they've both got the headset James Hetfield signature
Yeah,
in them.
absolutely, absolutely,
Stand.
absolutely love them.
And then yeah, Steve's got a really nice over lockdown. Steve invested in a really nice like Mapex Pro kit. Sounds fantastic. Well, he already had the cowbell, but yeah, we got him that.
Any type of microphone brand do you use, Alan, out of curiosity?
Yeah, I use a Shure wireless, just a standard one. But I got a new piece of kit actually last week.
Yeah.
I got a in-ear set of monitors, which are very exciting to use.
Sweet. And do we know what Steve is playing on drums? What's he working on the drums? What kind of kit's he using?
It's a Mapex kit, but his cymbals are just like a total mix and match of everything, whatever he can get his hands on.
Sweet, sweet.
He just bought a new Crash, didn't he?
Yeah, Minor, I think.
Yeah.
Something like
He said it was to replace the one that he's broken.
that.
Sweet.
Yeah, he swings hard.
Excellent, please, man. Excellent, excellent. So, what's the story? We're trying to get. So let's find the story behind Kilonova. So, what artists would you say inspired to create Kilonova?
There's one I can be extremely clear on, which is Avenged Sevenfold. As well as being a musical like inspiration, me and Johnny were in Rise in Newcastle, both absolutely hammered. Hail to the King came on. Me and him like sang it into each other's faces very, very hard, and then decided we should form a band. We already knew each other prior, I should say. We weren't like strangers just yelling at each other. But that was
across the room, like.
Yeah, like our eyes met across the dance floor. You. But yeah, no, it was yeah. So we all have Avenged Sevenfold to blame for this, I'm afraid.
Avenged.
Hate mail.
It's not that bad. To be fair, I get a lot of I get a lot of flack for this, but that is probably my favorite Avenged Sevenfold album. Yeah, I know everyone says everyone says it's
got to be Nightmare or City of Evil for me.
fair enough. I just like 'cause it's got that black, the Black Album type sound to it, with the deep bass tones on the drums, etc. That's what I absolutely loved. So it was my favorite album by them personally. So the name Kilonova. How did the name Kilonova come to be?
Oh yeah, so we were doing like I think most bands can relate to, where we were a set of people and we had some songs, but we didn't know what name to call it. So we were just like every so often in the group chat, just spamming random like sets of words, hoping it sounded cool. And I ended up just like scrolling through the news. I saw that there was this observatory that detected gravity waves, and that sounded really cool. And they detected them from a cosmic event called a kilonova, which is where if two stars are large enough and they die, they form neutron stars. If those neutron stars then collide, the explosion is a kilonova, and that's where like loads of the heavy metal elements in the universe get formed. And that just seemed way too perfect a name for a metal band.
Wow.
To pass up.
I can just see Ellen nodding, agreeing. Aye.
They already had the band name when I joined. I was like, I don't know what this is. I can't pronounce it, but yeah, sure.
I also kind of like that it makes it sound like a sort of diminutive Megadeth. Like we're not mega, we're just killer. We're like 1,000th of a Megadeth.
I like it. So, did the idea for the band come from yourself and Johnny Joe? Is that right? Because you said you just met in.
Yeah, Johnny and I already knew each other from university. We didn't actually hang out that much at uni, but we were both in the rock society, so we kind of we were in the same circles and went to the same like clubs and gigs and stuff.
So how did you? So how did you get Ellen and Steve down the line?
Well, Steve came first.
Yeah, it was Steve first. We put them both through the ringer really to audition them. So we had a couple of demos, just like super rough, just like a few riffs in order. One for Better Off Extinct and one for Straight to Hell. Mm-hmm. And so we put up an advert on Join My Band, just looking for a drummer, and then sent him the demos to say like, hey, what would you do on these tracks? And also learn Creeping Death, and we let him pick one song. He chose Like Light to Fly by Trivium, which was already that's a good way to get in, because we're all pretty big Trivium fans. Mm-hmm. And then I think we gave him about a month or so, and then we all met Nemix, the studio in Newcastle, to sort of hash it out. Turns out that neither me nor Johnny could actually play all the way through like Light of Flies without fucking it up so badly we had to stop. But other than that, it went great. Steve was really impressive. I'm amazed he didn't walk away as soon as we kept ballsing the songs up.
And then you found me on the Rock Society page, because I had just moved to Newcastle. I was 19, and I saw Joe's post. I think it was in like the November or December.
December
time.
time.
I moved up in like the September, and I just left the previous band, and I was like, right, I'll play some music, and it was too much of like a perfect opportunity not to at least give it a go.
Yeah, when Ellen got in touch, she sent us this like really, really well thought out message, like it was a proper job application. Like, I am a very dedicated and organized person, and I am, like, as if she was applying to be like a receptionist somewhere or something.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We gave her an audition. It was, to be fair, way more professional than anyone else we dealt with, because we had a couple of rounds of attempted auditions for singers previously, where we sent them the track and then said, oh, and also we'll do Creeping Death, because by this point we'd realised that Johnny and I couldn't get through a Trivium song.
I never got told to learn the Trivium song.
No, we already abandoned that idea. But yeah, there was like, I think 3 different singers that we were in contact with who then just ghosted us on the day of the audition after we'd already paid for the time in the rehearsal studio and stuff. So we just sort of practiced our own songs and then went home once it was clear they weren't showing up.
Yeah, especially if we've already paid for the room.
The first one to actually show up. Yeah, so Ellen was the first one to actually show up, which was, it worked in your favour.
Yeah.
And had a set of lyrics written for Straight to Hell, which was almost totally finished.
Yeah, I had the first verse, the chorus, and I think the second verse.
Yeah.
I didn't have the. No, that's not right. I didn't have the second verse. I had the bridge.
Sure. Yeah. So you came in, just did Straight to Hell, and we were like, right.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. I guess
she's our girl. That's it. We want her in this band. Brilliant. And look at this now. So, did you consider any other names before Kilonova? Curiosity.
We had like a working title of Reaper, just because that was the software that we were like tracking all of our demos into. So we just kind of were like, yeah, whatever, that's a metal sounding word, we'll go with that. Turns out there's already a UK thrash band called Reaper.
Yes, there is.
So obviously we couldn't use that. And then I think we toyed with the idea of Morning Star, but Morning like Grief for a while, but then found out there was like a sort of medium-sized band in America called Morning Star. For a while, I really wanted to call the band Rigor Mantis, but they wouldn't agree to that.
Not their cup of tea, is it not?
Nah.
So, how would you describe the music that you typically create? Would you just go say it's all out thrash, or would you say there's any other elements to it?
We put up a poll earlier, saying like, what do you think we actually are? Because we've been called everything from melodic thrash metal to punk infused crossover.
Yeah, punk metal, melodic thrash, blackened melodic hardcore. I think one person called us once. There's a lot of like elements in it. We didn't sort of set out like this is going to be a thrash metal band. I want it to sound like Testament and Exodus and whatever else. It's more just that both me and Johnny, who tend to start off the song ideas, have a lot of our roots in thrash and in old school Metallica especially, and Megadeth. So we couldn't really write anything that didn't have a thrash core to it. But then you'll also hear a lot of like Swedish influence from like In Flames or Orbit Culture or like Amon Amarth or that kind of thing in there as well.
And then you got Steve, who's like proper into like obviously Avenged Sevenfold and things like that. And then I'm much more of a new wave, like emo metalcore, like Bring the Horizon, all that.
Yeah. Steve's got a lot of a metalcore thing as well. Steve's very into like August Burns Red and Between the Buried and Me and that kind of thing.
Yeah. August Burns Red? Damn, that's a name I have not heard in a long time. There we go.
They played Newcastle not that long ago with who were they with? It wasn't Bleed From Within. It was Bury Tomorrow. It was Bury Tomorrow. That was awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
I think
super tight.
I think I was at work that night, so I couldn't go. That's a bit of a bummer.
Oh god.
Well, never mind. Cannot see them all. So, moment of clarity. Came out 5th of May. Is that right? Was it 5th of May? 5th of May. Yep. A 5-track EP, and can I just say first off, fantastic work, guys. absolutely amazing. You've released an EP full of absolute bangers. For me, it just hits all the right spots. Personally, it's thrashy. It has tasty riffage. It has those groove elements from the drum and the bass. It hits hard, but also has them like melodic sections as well. Epic guitar solos, because everyone who knows me, I am a fan of guitar solos. And lyrically, it just gives me fucking goosebumps, especially on fragments. To be honest with you, absolutely fantastic work, guys. I listen to it on quite a bit. It's in my repeat list on Spotify, so I can't give you
Awesome.
any more props. To be fair, it is absolutely a banger. But what has been the inspiration behind Moment of Clarity?
Each song has its own inspiration, but the overall kind of theme is like loss and being things kind of being taken from you in a sense.
Yeah, like without going to, rehashing the recent history everyone knows, like it's been a rough couple of years for everybody, and I think that's really come through for us lyrically, especially, and that's really informed like some of the sounds on it. I
Yeah,
think we've gone to a much more kind of personal place on this one.
it definitely feels like a bit close to the heart for you on this one. So, what's been the writing recording process for Moment of Clarity? What have you done anything different from your previous EP, Omnicide?
Yeah. So
much.
yeah, this has been a totally new process for us, and it's been, in some ways we've been way more pro, and in some areas we've been way more DIY. We've worked out the bits we can do, and we can do that DIY and not have to pay someone to do it. And the stuff we aren't really able to do, we then sourced some very, very talented professionals to help us out. So yeah, it was all the guitar and bass tracking was done through Johnny's Kemper into our computers, and I've had to go through like with a razor blade and just like get all the edits and everything, get it all lined up, get all the quad tracking so that it's all like stacked and really thick and feels the way it feels when you have like an amp coming through a PA at you and not just like one earphone.
I'm with you.
It's being so brutal with ourselves and with each other. Like, the one thing that we did before we went into the studio to record any of it is we literally sat in the room, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours, and we went through every single part of every single song, and we were like, that's wrong, this can be changed here, this needs, are you playing this note, Ellen, you need to go higher, you need to go lower, and we basically stripped it all down and built it back again.
Yeah, it was absolutely painstaking, and we started with more than the 5 songs. I think
we had 8, 9.
I think we shortlisted it to like 8 or 9 that we brought into the room. As far as like songs that were written, it was like 11 or 12 songs, and we just like kept cutting it down until there was every single piece had to justify itself being on this EP. Because absolutely no filler is the approach. But yeah, so then we went into In Heart Studios with George, who is an absolutely, he has the patience of a saint to deal with us. Because we are dumb idiots who know nothing. But he got some to do the drum and the vocal recording, and it was so helpful to have a proper pro to know how to do all that. And then I had to go through, get all the some of the drum edits and stuff I had to do as well, and then we sent it all off to Merrick De La Fuente of Floodgate Audio, who also did, he's the frontman of Exist Immortal, and he also did obviously Exist Immortal's record. He's done Vexed stuff, God Eater stuff. I don't know if you remember Archite, who were an absolutely awesome metalcore band in the Northeast about 6 or 7 years ago, I think.
Vaguely. I'm aware of God Eater.
Yeah. So yes, Archite were this amazing band. Their drummer is now in Rituals, so they're still kind of around on the scene. And so I got in touch with them to say that, hey, who mixed your album? It sounds amazing. And they pointed us towards Merrick, and man, he so delivered.
Yeah, we did leave him like, how long were we kind of talking to him? Like a good year.
It was well over a year between me first getting in touch with him and then finally having all the tracks in place, ready, and saying, okay, here is everything. Please make us sound good.
Well, that was mostly because of COVID, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, our whole process got slowed way down.
Yeah.
All of our writing has to take place, in the room together. It just doesn't really work trying to write in isolation, separate from one another, and sending files back and forth and stuff. I'm sure it works great for a lot of bands, but for whatever reason,
we just
didn't work for us. So it took us a lot longer than we would like to get through the whole thing. But that was life.
Yeah. Is that your first time working with them? Was it, out of curiosity?
Yeah, we hadn't worked with George or Merrick before, but they're both absolutely knocked us out of the park. Wouldn't hesitate to work with them again. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say we definitely working with them down the line. And you said you had like pretty much a full album worth of songs by the sounds of it. Any particular reason why you went EP length as opposed to a full album?
It was basically, we were just kind of racking up demos, under lockdown, and sending files back together, like writing as much as we could. But obviously, when you're just tracking bits and pieces into software and just kind of like roughly programming in drums and that kind of thing, it's really, really tough to know how that's going to feel when you have to play it in the room as four human beings. And there was just something missing from some of those tracks.
Yeah, I think the way that we this next release is that it needed to be the best that it could possibly be, and there was no point in putting out an album of 10 okay songs when we could make an EP of 5 absolute bangers. So
I'm sure a lot of the ideas that we used that just didn't quite work out, didn't work in the right context, or we didn't have the correct part to go with it or whatever. We'll probably like cut those up and rip out the good bits and reuse them elsewhere.
I feel like that's the way the music industry is kind of going now, though, isn't it? A lot of people will just prefer to write an EP of 4 or 5 songs, like Alan just said, of bangers, with no filler. Do you know what I mean? Because you take an album, you'll pick in an album anyway, you'll choose your 4 or 5 best songs anyway, and you'll stick them in a playlist. You know what I mean? So I personally feel that's the way it's going to go more down the line. You're going to see more EPs, especially from your bigger bands as well. You're going to see more EPs as opposed to full album releases. Or then again, some of them are talking about just releasing singles, aren't they?
I mean, that unfortunately it is the way that the music industry is going. As you said, like it's not like 20, 30 years ago where you could go to your local record studio and then be like, hey, make this album for us, it would be great, and then it would get played all over the place. Like, people want music fast, people want it now, and that's not a bad thing because they want to keep listening. But it's just writing music, especially like I mean, we only have 4 members. I don't know how Slipknot do it. But writing music in general, it takes time, and it's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, not to get too far into how the sausage is made or whatever, but it's just way more cost effective and stuff to be like regularly putting stuff out rather than having to put all your resources into something while there's absolutely nothing going on like publicly. Or like, it already felt like it took us forever to get through this EP. Circumstances didn't help. If we had to, try and get ourselves to 9, 10 songs and find ourselves as happy with all of them across the board, you'd probably be looking at another 2 years.
Yeah, I still miss. I'm not sure if you can remember, Joe. But I still miss Pet Sounds. If you remember Pet Sounds in Newcastle, it was next to Kathmandu back in the day when the old Goth Green was still kicking around. I absolutely love that store. It's just full of. You can go down there. You'll on a Friday. The new releases. Buy a favorite T-shirt or a bit of merch and stuff like that. I miss those days. Absolutely miss those days.
I remember Kathmandu, but I think the record store must have been a little bit before my time.
Ah, right, fair enough. Well, so when it comes to recording, do you record as a full band or do you record your own bits separately in your own personal spaces and then send it to each other, sort of thing? How do you work?
It's been kind of bits and pieces. So all the bass tracking on this EP I did solo. I borrowed Johnny's Kemper and then basically just spent a weekend just in my office at home with just a horrifying amount of like coffee and dark chocolate to get me through, and just like tracked and edited it all myself. For Johnny, he tracked most of it solo by the same process, but then I came in and did all the edits and like we did any kind of retracking and overdubbing and getting everything just right. And then Ellen and Steve,
Steve went first.
Steve went first in the studio, and the rest of us kind of, stopped in on the studio. Was it just me that was there for the whole time? Were you there as well?
Yeah, because you don't trust me to record any vocals without you there now.
Well, you made up some words on Bear of Extinct that aren't real words.
Yeah. So
The dangers of having a dyslexic singer.
As mentioned, I'm severely dyslexic, and I knew the lyrics, but I knew them as I read them. They were not the lyrics. They're not things.
There's a word that's not a real word in Bear of Extinct. It's fine.
So you've pretty much got to be standing at the background cracking that whip in case she messes up.
I never considered myself to be a control freak until that, but yeah, it turns out I have severe problems.
Absolutely brilliant. So, as we said before, lyrically, this sounds like a very personal release to you guys. When it's come to lyrics, was it as yourself, Ellen, that's written the lyrics, or does everyone kind of chip in?
So, mostly lyric writing wise, it'll be me and Joe. Or I'll send something to Joe, like an idea, or Joe will send something to me, and then we'll be like, no!
It's terrible stuff again.
Terrible, stop it! I definitely say we write our best if we start from scratch.
Yeah, usually. Or if we just have an idea but don't try and evolve it until we're working on it together, so that we've got that back and forth. All of our writing has to work that way. Otherwise, it's the same if I'm doing riffs and stuff. It just turns into riff salad if I'm left on my own. Johnny's got that real ear for arrangement and stuff. But yeah, lyrically, it's putting it all together. It's mostly me and Ellen. But the themes can come from all of us. The theme on Fragments is very much Johnny's song. Instrumentally, he put pretty much everything together. And then
we've each kind of got a song on the EP, though, haven't we?
Yeah, and then but conceptually, that was really, really informed by some of Johnny's experiences with his family. So, and it's something that the rest of us could all relate to as well. We've all had experiences with that kind of thing in our families as well. But yeah, Johnny was really the driving force on that one, as far as lyrics and themes and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I say it gives me absolute goosebumps. Fragments, it's absolutely amazing. I just can't get enough of it. So what's the story behind Burned at the Stake?
Yes, I love that song. But that isn't my complete baby on the EP. So Burned at the Stake is a very much a feminist sort of anthem. It took its inspiration from the witch trials, the witch burnings, and kind of brought it more into the modern sphere of it. Even though it's been so many years, it's still an issue that women face not even just women, but in that particular song, women face of just persecution constantly.
Yeah, I mean, it felt perfect to have the most sort of straight up hardcore punk kind of song on the EP be the one that's got that most kind of ideologically charged attack to it. And you can two-step to it, so it's awesome on every level.
So it's Burned at the Stake kind of
two-step and play that song because it's really hard to do both.
So Burned at the Stake, was that pretty much your main song, was it, Alan? Was that the one that you mainly took the time with, or writing wise?
Not really. I think all of them have had equal amount of time, but in terms of the ones that I relate to the most is Leeches and Parasites.
Yeah, I'd say Leeches is very much like yours lyrically, especially.
Any particular reason why?
No, it's just I had a lot of anger and I had a lot of stuff that I needed to say, and that was my way of getting it out, really.
Good outlet.
It's a very good song.
Yeah, it's a good outlet to have in it.
Yeah, that was a really cathartic song, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I felt so much better after writing.
If you ever feel I take it if you're in a really pissed off mood, that will be your song to kind of go to, is it?
Oh, 100%.
100%. And what about Fruit of the Poisoned Tree?
Through the Poison Tree is the one I would say I feel like is the most kind of my baby. Obviously, everyone's contributed on all these songs. I can't claim that any of them are
Yeah, but
solely mine.
each member's going to have their own
I
favorite
feel
songs
like
to play.
I feel like a certain level of ownership over Through the Poison Tree, because it was like I mentioned, I'm not good at writing full songs solo. It tends to be that I'll have parts and just like a ton of riffs on a similar theme, but I need someone like Johnny to help me actually making something that makes sense. But for whatever reason, all the pieces just kind of fell into place for me on Fruit of the Poison Tree. I think there's a lot of like Silosis influence on that. It was not long after Cycle of Suffering by Silosis came out, an absolute banger and one of the greatest metal albums of all time. I will defend forever. But there's something about the way the guitars and bass like move against each other, and a lot of Silosis songs like set that one off for me. And then lyrically, it's about that like unending pull that I think every musician relates to about, I'm willing to drive for hours and eat shitty food and wear stinking clothes from 2 days ago to like play a 40-minute set and get in the car and do it again. It's that, that tastes so bittersweet and fleeting because it's all over so quickly on stage, but that's why we do it. And then you kind of always chasing that next rush.
Yeah. And the final sorry. And the final song, Bleed by Example.
Ah, yes, Ryan.
yeah, that one I would say is that Steve was really the MVP on that one.
Yeah, he does that one.
Yeah, well, it was because for a lot of these songs when we're writing them, we'll have like a kind of a placeholder set of drums because me and Johnny are not, we can't drum on anywhere near the level Steve can. Johnny can drum a bit, I can't drum to save my life. So
I can turn the snare off.
Choke your cymbals whenever he doesn't want you to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Steve is such a phenomenal player, and a lot of the time, we'll give him like a fairly bare bones kind of drum outline of just here's where it should be intense, here's where you should go half time or whatever, and he just so brought it on Bleed by Example. He's got that like really really Joey Jordison kind of bounce in the chorus. It's like the whole song is so unrelentingly fast as well. So yeah, Steve really elevated that song.
We don't like playing slow, and if we do, then it's wrong.
It feel weird to go slow.
Absolutely amazing, guys. Again, it's absolutely fantastic. I can't just sing me praises enough for it. You've also had as well recently a sold out show at Little Buildings. How did that go? Because that unfortunately I missed it because it was sold out. How dare everyone buy a ticket and not leave two for me? It is disgraceful. How dare you not leave two for me? But no, absolutely smashing, selling out Little Buildings. How did the gig go?
Oh my goodness, it was insane. It was amazing. I think the strangest moment for us, I mean, for me anyway, I'm sure it's for everyone else, is when we opened with Fragments and people were actually singing it back, and we were like, why?
Yeah, we did have a
because it's amazing, Ellen. That's why.
That's not coming through the monitors or anything. That's wow. Okay, we actually hear people singing it. That was pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Also, massive shout out to Negatives and the NA. They both absolutely crushed it.
Oh yeah.
Like usually, you'd think like hometown sold out show, you wouldn't be too nervous to go on. Obviously, the crowd's going to be into it. Negatives is a hard band to follow.
Yeah, 100%. They're fantastic.
So good.
Epic.
Yeah, sure.
And you've also got a mini tour lined up. Is that right?
It's kind of like a mini tour over like 4 weekends.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of dates kind of spread out. I don't know if we can call it a tour, but yeah, we've got.
Call it a tour.
All right. Yeah, we're calling it a tour. Great. Yeah, we got Glasgow on Friday, Manchester on Saturday. The bank holiday Sunday, we're in Leicester for an all-dayer. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
And then on the 3rd of June, we're in Leeds with Terraglyph and Goddess, both of whom are awesome.
Sweet. That sounds like it's going to be
some other stuff in the pipeline that we can't announce yet, but there's more coming. Yeah.
Oh, little tease drops there for you guys. Oh, wonder what it could be. Aye, that's it. That's what you're doing it. People wanting more. So we're getting pretty much close to my questions. So what's next for Kilonova?
Play lots of shows. We'd like to play some more festivals, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing with Dominion
Oh,
gone down the pan.
absolutely devastating. Absolutely
So I
devastating.
feel like I'm owed a festival. Not that anyone actually owes us anything, but I feel like on some weird karma level, I feel I owed a festival. Especially because the lineup was rad. I was really excited for Hellripper, especially. But yeah, but like I've seen Skindred a bunch of times. I've never seen Hellripper, and that what was it? Withered Hags and Warlock's Grim, or whatever that album was that just came out, was amazingly good.
Oh, and Street Soldier Plan.
And Street Soldier Plan. And Speedhorn, our old pals Raging Speedhorn.
Oh yeah, we do like Speedhorn. And then probably I think we're looking at some more music. I mean, the grind never stops.
Yeah, we didn't stop writing even when we were recording
Yeah.
Motor Clarity stuff. I've still just been like banking riffs and working on more stuff. So there's a couple of songs that are starting to kind of crystallize, and I'll probably get brought into the room and see if they pass that, survive the room test.
So we could have another
That's
EP in the works very shortly then, shall we? Come on.
I mean, who knows if it's going to be like, it might be some standalone singles. It might be that we just end up on a roll and it turns into an album. Like we'll go until we feel like we have a set of songs that work together.
Does anyone want to sponsor it? Pay for the album? That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have to cover a ton of studio time for us. That'd be great.
And I think I ask every band this, and probably people's getting sick of it by now, but can we see a vinyl release down the line?
Oh, I would absolutely love for Moment of Clarity to be on a vinyl because it's an eyeball and it would look so cool.
Yeah, like green and black vinyl.
Yeah.
It would look so rad. Well, that's kind of like if you go on Spotify and stuff, the visualizer of the rotating eye as well. It's so like a vinyl. It would be so sick.
Definitely.
The lead times and the cost involved in vinyl enormous at the minute though. So never say never, but there's no. Oh god. Nothing's ever simple.
I'll be first in line for it. I'll be
First and only.
I doubt it. I think that would sell rather quickly. I know one of few people who's watching in chat. They're also vinyl collectors, so I think that would go down rather well.
Oh yeah, 13th Hour made the rolling eye, by the way, guys. Check out 13th Hour.
Oh yeah, thank you to Sean 13th Hour for our Spotify graphics and like YouTube visualizers and stuff. The YouTube visualizers are not up, but they will go up at some point.
Yes, go and check out 13th Hour guy. He is a fantastic artiste. He's helped me on this channel as well. The green, and you can see the green border that's on there now. He made that for me. So he is an absolute gem of a lad. So go and check him out. He does fantastic. If you're in a band and you need some stuff done, or if you're not in a band and you're in a Twitch or YouTube channel, give him a shout. He's your guy. But I think we're pretty much at the end of my question, guys, and now I'm going to turn it over to our live viewers who are watching right now. It's down to them what they ask. So while everyone starts everyone starts typing their questions in the chat, I'll ask just a little follow-up. I don't know if you guys know, but I am one half of a podcast called One Side My Head. The episode's not released yet, but last Sunday, me and my podcast co-host, Omi, he asked a question about mosh pits. And basically how some of them are getting rather violent these days, and people actually get, I think it's like slam, and people like actually physically punching each other, hurting one another on purpose. And he would like a band's perspective on it. What's your take? Do you agree? Are you okay with this, or do you think it needs to be held back a bit?
I think it depends on the band.
Yeah, it's super contextual. Like I'm not super into it. If I'm at like, I remember I saw Cancer Bats in Newcastle, and there was like one dude in an anorak just doing karate on his own, and everyone in the room was just backing away, hiding by the wall to try and avoid him. And that's not cool. If there's like a pit and other people are into it and are clearly like signaling they want to be on it, that's fine. If someone's at the edge of the pit, like, don't throw hands. That's being a dick.
As someone that is a fin kicker, it depends on the show. It depends on the environment. Like I wouldn't turn up to a Little Mix show and that would be bad. Just to clear that up, guys, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
But if I go I'm hoping to see Street Soldier in a few weeks. I'm absolutely petrified. However, I also really want to go into the pit and do the spin kicks. I think as long as you're being respectful and you're not, just don't be a dick. Like, it's just.
Yeah, don't inflict it on anyone else that doesn't want to be part of it.
Exactly.
Go with, like, read the room.
Yeah.
Like, if you're at a Not Glue show, yeah, you're probably all right.
As long as you scream arf arf.
As long as you bark first, yeah.
Yep. Like, basically,
we're not.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of karate. It's mostly circle pits for us.
We get two-step now.
Oh yeah, two-step is cool.
Yeah, circle pit, push pits.
What we need is to get like people coordinated enough so that they can circle pit while two-stepping. That's the goal.
Oh.
that'll be something interesting to see. But yeah, it's just like I say, I'm all for mosh pits and stuff like that. But when it gets to the point of when it's physical harming people on purpose, it gets a bit, wait, this is getting a bit out of hand. I've seen one or two people kick off, and then that's how fights start, and then that ruins the show. But not just the audience, the band as well, because the band don't want to see that. You want people enjoying themselves at the end of the day. You don't want people fighting in a mosh pit, days.
Yeah. The only time I've ever actually been injured in a mosh pit was from Ellen.
Oh, Ellen.
And it wasn't even on purpose, but she gave me a black eye when she headbutted me in the face.
It was a complete accident.
That was really hard to explain at work.
My time of getting hurt in a mosh pit was a circle pit for Devil Driver at Download 09.
Ooh,
I fell down. No one picked us up. My knee kind of got trampled on, and that's pretty much been my mosh pit days. I've never really returned into them. I just pussy back, stand at the back, have a little headbang. Do you know what I mean? Just listen to the tunes. That's me. But since that 09 Devil Driver, like, no one picked us up, and my knee got stood on quite a few.
Poor form on the crowd's part there.
Definitely, because we're supposed to pick people up in the mosh pit, and that was one of the things as well that Ormy brought up, is that sometimes people don't pick each other up. So
yeah, that's not on. Someone goes down, like you.
As soon as you go down, pick them up. Yeah, exactly.
Someone can get really, really messed up.
So we've got our first question from the 13th hour himself. How much do you hate gigging with Cass and Tefra? Haha.
You know what? We actually love the cast guys. Like, we don't actually have that much like musical crossover with them. Them being like, slam deathcore, and we're being kind of thrash adjacent. And they're just so much fun to play with. And they're super pro as well. Like they have their shit together. Some bands, like, if you're watching them and they're like coiling their cables up on stage after they're done, and like asking you for batteries and my tuner pedal's broken, can I borrow your pedal board and whatever else. Oh man, get it together. But the cast guys are, it's awesome.
Like, fair enough.
It's always a good time.
Fair enough if it's like, oh no, this has happened. But if it's like, I just can't be bothered and I need this thing, and I'm like, oh, like,
yeah. I love the cast guys.
We love the cast and Tefra guys.
Excellent.
We love them.
So we've got a question from Fourth Watch Music. What's the reason behind Fragments having a radio edit?
Oh, it's because on the EP, Fragments has a like super, super long intro, and we wanted it to be so that for a single, if you're pushing it out to radio or podcasts, or if you want people to like put it in their playlist and stuff, you don't want something like that super long intro to really kill the momentum.
Yeah, some people won't. Some radio stations won't take a song if it's over a certain length,
or if it doesn't get to like the chorus within a certain amount of time, or that kind of thing. So it's kind of, for practical reasons, it's like, right, the intro's cool and I like it a lot and it serves the song. But if I want to introduce someone to Kilonova, which is kind of the purpose of that first single on the EP, you just got to hit them straight away with the fast intro.
There we go. I hope that's answered you. So other than the intro, there's not much difference between the songs other than the intro.
That's the only difference.
Oh,
the only other difference you would make on a radio edit is if there's any like explicit lyrics or that kind of thing.
Mm. Sometimes though,
like a radio edit that wasn't released for Immortal but went out to like radio and stuff where it had no F-bomb. No F-bomb.
No naughty words, eh? Oh well, he has me mum, right? He has me mum, and she says she thinks Ellen is so pretty. That's me, mum. What's this? So, No Life Gaming. When can we expect more music videos? Fragments was brilliant, by the way. Much love from Collapse.
Oh, that's who it is.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
We were trying to work out who it was.
It's Evan.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up, man?
It's the man himself.
Wow, he was at the show.
He was doing push-ups in the pit.
Yeah, it was really.
Push-ups in the pit. What a legend.
Yeah.
Push-ups in the mosh pit. Teddy bear wolves.
New music video, I assume will be with next single.
Probably, yeah. Unless, I don't know, like you do see some bands sometimes they'll do a video for like something that's been out for a little while to like, I don't know, sustain and give it another push. But we're already writing new stuff.
Yeah.
I'll probably be bored of the Moment of Clarity by then anyway, because like as much as it's new to everyone else, some of these songs we've had down for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like old news in a weird way. It's really cool that everyone's now hearing them and enjoying them, and that makes them feel fresh. But they're not that novel to us in the same way. So yeah, we'll probably focus on some new stuff. Maybe who knows? Maybe a video later the year. We'll see. It depends. It depends how the writing goes. Depends how busy we end up with gigging and all that sort of thing. Sorry, that's a total non-answer.
It's also like, I mean, as many musicians can that are on here can understand. It's you can write a song and it can be ready. Doesn't mean you can release it. You have to send it off to the mixing mastering people, and then if you're doing PR, you have to wait God knows how many months before it can come back, and then if you're doing a video, how long it takes to process it.
Yeah.
So I think that should only take like a few weeks or a month. Probably takes about 6.
Yeah. Who knows? Don't hold your breath, but we're working on it.
Who did you record Fragments with? Like the video?
That was with Any Studios. They also did the Immortal video. They were under the alias Dead Real Films at the time. It's the same guys, but they've set up shop in Sunderland now. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant set of guys.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? Massive thanks and a shout out to the actors in the video. They were all volunteers.
Yeah.
Incredibly kind of them to do that for us.
Wow.
Never got to meet them though, which was a shame.
Yeah, it was filmed. Our parts were filmed separately, but they were like friends of Any Studios, and they were kind enough to lend their time. So that was super cool of them.
Sweet. You never know. They might turn up at a couple of shows. Oh, they might be fans. Hopefully, that would be pretty sweet. Any other questions?
Like, why has my face been used?
Yeah, well, there was that shot in the church, and we had to send the pastor or the father, I can't remember his title, a set of the lyrics and reassure him that it wasn't a satanic song, so they'd let them film in the church. Yeah. That's quite funny.
That would be pretty funny though if the actors just come up. Why is my face used on a metal video? You told me this was for some sort of Jesus thing. What's going on? This is blasphemy. One last question, guys. Come on. Who's going to ask one more question? But Kilonova before we'll let them go, because they've got things to do. They've got music to prepare and get some gigs sorted. 6. What time's it now?
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock. Timed that perfectly. So, one last question, guys. Have we done the Greg's Order? Field Team 6. We have not. I was waiting. Who was going to redeem it?
You have to
what are your... Technically, you're a Northeast band. I know you said you're a Southerners, but you live in the Northeast. What's the Greg Orders? Greg?
When it's a festive bake, it's got to be.
Festive bake. Oh, what a legend.
What? Oh, gosh. Okay.
Right.
Mine is a vegan sausage roll with I like the new vegan Mexican bean thing. And then I'll also have, I eat a lot. I'll also have a portion of the fries with the sweet chili sauce, and then it's donut.
Oh, tasty. Oh, maybe we can make this one the last one. What's your craziest gig experience before we quickly finish?
Oh shit!
As in gigs that we've played or gigs we've been to?
Ooh.
That's the gigs we've played.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate, Fourth Watch? So is it a gig for what they've played or a gig that they've attended to? If you can
So
quickly.
let's do both. Let's do one of each.
I suppose, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So we'll start with gigs we've played. What's your craziest? I've got one in mind, but I'm not sure if it's the same one.
You go first because I want to know which one you're thinking.
Right, so when we played with Lost Society in Newcastle, the Riverside, which was awesome. It was very, very cool to for them to have us on. Yeah, we toured through from Finland and everything. Awesome gig. And then after we came off stage, we heard like people started kind of putting messages in a group chat we formed between us and Salt and Jack Ketch, who were the other support band, and they were saying like, Jeff Waters is in the room, guys. Jeff Waters just watched us play. Turns out Jeff Waters, frontman of Annihilator and thrash metal legend, had watched our
Yes.
set and was watching Lost Society.
The man lives in Durham.
Giving his kid a guitar pick and stuff. So yeah, very, very cool. That kind of blew my mind. I'm kind of glad I didn't know about it in advance, or I would have absolutely frozen up. Because I really like Annihilator. Like Alice in Hell is an absolute banger.
Yes, there's not many people I know who are Annihilator fans. So Joe, you've just gone up even higher in my book. I absolutely love Annihilator. Me and Omi have talked about, because apparently he's local to Durham now, and we've been talking about just going, just flying around Durham, just blasting Alice in Hell, and just heads out the windows. Jeff, where are you, Jeff? But no, I wouldn't really do that, to be honest with you. Bless him, he's had some shit in Durham. People just turning up to his house and just demanding like sign-ins and stuff like that. So I wouldn't want to do that. That's absolutely horrendous. I feel sorry for the man. Shouldn't have to go through that.
We decided to leave him be at the gig, let him enjoy the show, and not harass him or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were all just like kind of giving each other the side eye, like, is that him? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's Jeff Waters.
Because
me and Johnny are both big fans.
Definitely. Yourself.
My craziest gig experience. It depends if good or bad. I'm going to go with the opposite of what you said.
All right.
And I think the craziest experience I had is we were on tour. It was the tour just before COVID. And you know what?
Yeah, I know what this is.
So we were doing our set. Second song in, I squat, right? And all I feel is this. And I shit you not, from the bottom of my leg all the way up to the top of my trousers. My trousers had completely ripped. And so I spent a good few minutes running around the venue, holding the back of my trousers like, has anyone got something I can cover myself with, please? I need sympathy.
Yeah, the rest of us are like blasting through Hang the Hangman at this
You have
stage.
no idea.
I realised once you came back on stage with a shirt tied around your waist, I instantly knew that you'd split your trousers.
Yeah. The saddest part is not the only time I took my trousers on stage. I said 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah, it happened at the little thingy show just gone.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Nice one.
my shorts ripped all the way up. I need bigger clothes.
Oh yeah, you ripped the Ghostbusters jumpsuit on the Halloween show
Yeah,
as well.
I ripped the Ghostbusters, yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's not excellent, but still. Jesus. It only happened to you.
I need to change. I started wearing skirts, then I realized I need to wear shorts underneath the skirt, so it doesn't really help the problem of the working. So.
Oh, well, guys, I've had an absolute hell of a night. It's been epic. Thank you very much for joining us. Everyone in chat, if you are listen, go and check out Moment of Clarity. It's you can listen on Spotify, all major streaming platforms. If you even want to support them, go on Bandcamp. They'll even do a little bundle for you, I believe. T-shirt, patch, CD. What else was it? Is it got a sticker as well? There we go.
There's one elite bundle with a giant banner, and I mean like an obnoxiously giant banner of the album art as well. If anyone wants to really treat themselves.
There you go, guys. So yeah, if you want to support the guys and you want to get yourself some top class merch, go on Bandcamp and buy it. And if you ask nicely, they might even sign it for you. Please again. If you ask nicely.
We do have a load of printed out pictures of ourselves as well, like a really terrible picture that we sent out with the first load of orders. So I think we've still got some of those knocking about.
Yeah, we've got these very stupid postcards that go with them.
Yeah.
Collector's edition.
That's what it's all about. Collector's editions, isn't it? Collector's edition, that's what I like. So yeah, guys, like I say, go and check that out. All on that major streaming platforms. It is brilliant. Just don't take my word for it. Just go listen to it. Go listen to it right now. As soon as the guys have gone, go listen to it. It's fantastic.
Do it now.
Yes, do it now. Drop a follow, click them likes as well. What we want. Anyway. So, guys, these are Kilonova right here. Ellen, Joe, thanks again. Yeah, until next time, guys. Stick around. We're going to be playing some. Stick around. If you want to hang around for a bit, guys, we're going to be playing some tunes.
Yeah.
If you want to hang around for a bit, request some tracks. And yeah, sweet. So stick around, guys, and we will see you all real soon. Take care now.